Now we will consider item 24. Mr. Hayden.
Thank you. I'd simply like an explanation of what is intended by the will include negotiating the preparation of feasibility studies, and also the continued inclusion of the word addition project. Does that mean you're precluding consideration of an alternate school construction?
No, absolutely not. The feasibility studies are a separate consideration. They will come to the board with those studies.
But among the things to be considered would be the possibility of a different school as well as an addition.
Feasibility study will tell us that if this is a possibility. Yes.
Yes. As the feasibility goes forward, I would like very much I've passed out to members of the school board a map of the Towson area.
I wonder where
which I've identified an area, and an engineer pointed this out to me and has walked the property and has concluded that in his view the site is sufficiently large so that it would accommodate an elementary school of the sort currently used by Baltimore County Public Schools. It's bordered by West Allegheny Avenue, Highland Avenue, West Joppa, and Central Avenues. For your consideration, it currently has an athletic field there, and there's sufficient room, in the view of the engineer at least, that for the athletic field to continue after the construction of a school. There are some buildings on the premises right now, but Maryland law would currently allow the condemnation of properties. These are commercial properties at this point in time. So they're homes that are former homes that are used for commercial purposes at this point. I would like very much for the feasibility study folks to be at least aimed in that direction, so they might consider that with other sites.
Ms. O'Hare?
I have a problem with leaving the addition part in there. I just don't think that's the way we need to go with any school. We've seen what additions do. At 600-seat additions that were sold to us by politicians going back several county executives, which seemed like a good idea at the time, but clearly we don't want to warehouse our children. So I would like to see the addition part of that description taken out. I do not think an addition to any elementary school is a good idea. And that's just a fancy way of leaving it in, you know, and kind of bringing people along and then doing what the politicians want us to do. So if it's not in there, we can't do it.
Are you suggesting an amendment, a formal
amendment? To remove
amendment?
the words, the word addition. In other words, it would read, professional architectural engineering services will be required to assist Baltimore County Public Schools with an elementary school project. I mean,
Ms. Harris has seconded your amendment. We can handle the amendment, but then we have to handle the main motion.
That's right.
Call the question.
All in favor of your...
removing the word addition. I mean, I would like it to read, whatever the right language is, removing addition may do it, but I don't want there to be any wiggle room so that somehow they can come up with a feasibility study that says that we can take an existing elementary school and do something to it to make it bigger. Do you think taking addition out does it?
I really think we have to be careful and not tie the hands of people who are going to do the study. I think we want a very comprehensive feasibility study, and I think we have to be careful with the wording. Could I ask Mr. Sines to comment on that?
Yes, Mr. Parker, I agree with your statement. During the conversation we had within the Building and Contracts Committee, we had discussed in detail the need to resolve the problem. The problem in the Towson area is that we have a projected enrollment issue that we do not have seats, that we will not have seats available to us. So as we engage a design consultant team, we would like to have the flexibility to go in it with an open mind to bring back to you recommendations that are viable. The terminology addition, for example, you can have a connecting corridor linking two buildings. Is that an addition?
Yeah, no, that's what I don't, that's why I don't like the word.
Excuse me.
Would we,
I'm sorry.
I would like to hear the end of Mr. Sines' comment.
Thank you.
Ultimately, we will provide a very specific charge to the design team and work with our law office as well as MSDE. And ultimately, when the administration comes back to you, it would be the second beginning point in which we would begin the development of an educational specification for whatever we come up with in a recommendation that you support. This is simply an exploratory, a planning activity to identify what the possibilities are. Legitimately, we have a million opinions and we have very few facts. This is a fact-seeking exercise.
I'd like to take a moment of privilege to say something, and then I will come back to everyone. This board has said we want to be a data-driven board. If we fail to seek the data in the broadest way to come up with a solution, then we're failing children and our responsibility. I don't think we should be boxing anyone in. I don't think we should be saying whatever. I think there are many creative people, and hopefully we've got the right mix of a design team, who are going to look. And the word is plural. Feasibility studies. So we are not zeroing in anywhere. But if we box it, then we are. We're not opening to all the possibilities. Ms. Harris?
Actually, when I seconded Ms. O'Hare's amendment, when I hear elementary school project, that leaves it wide open. When I hear elementary school addition project, it's limiting. I would expect that you would search out additions as well as separate schools under elementary school project. That's why I seconded the amendment, to take out addition.